Today's video is sponsored by being a noob YouTuber, the best kind of YouTuber. Hello design nerds, and welcome back to my entire apartment. My name is Zach, and I'm a graphic designer in gorgeous Ithaca, New York. In today's video, I'm going to be redesigning two soda logos, specifically Mountain Dew and Pepsi. And I wanted to shout out Kel Lauren for giving me the idea for this video. She's a great graphic designer who makes YouTube videos, and I'll make sure and link her info in the description. I wanted to mention how much fun these videos have been, even though I've had to re-record some sections over 3 times because of microphone issues. But for this video, I'm upping my game and using notes. Basically, I'm reinventing the wheel, but pretty badly, which I think is common for most new YouTubers. With that, let's move on to the feature presentation. Alright, so here's what I ended up with for the Mountain Dew logo here on the right. I wanted to make something that didn't feel so neckbeardy or gamer bro like, so I went with a more sugary seeming design. So the pink, light green, and yellow, bright yellow, felt much more sweet to me, sort of how pink lemonade looks, the colors for the packaging for pink lemonade. And I wanted to show you what the logo currently looks like here on the left, because personally I don't really like it. It just feels too sharp and too, as I said, gamer bro. But also here are some of the old logos that I thought were really cool. Like, it started out in this classic brush script style, and then this Mountain and Dew combo, sort of think they were going for like a mountain shape with dew. And I decided not to do a logo type, instead going for the little graphic with the text in it. I don't know if it's important, but I did want to mention I am recording this after making both Pepsi and Mountain Dew logos and cans. So my thoughts might have changed from when I made it, but this is what I think now. And let's move on to the next part, moving on to the can design creation. just wanted to butt in quickly here and explain one important file exchange thing I'm doing here. I wanted to edit this file a bit in Photoshop, just so I can see how it looks on the can. So I'm going to convert this artboard into a PSD, which to do that you have to go to export as, and then in here I'm gonna make sure I'm only using artboard 3, because that's where the design that I'm using is on. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. We'll just call this main, since that's what I call the Illustrator file, and let's export and see what that looks like if we open it up in Photoshop. Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna go over to Photoshop, cancel, going to File, Open. I'm gonna go to Open. We're gonna go to the video we want. I'm gonna blur out this bit just so you don't see what I'm doing here, what I've got going on. Don't want you to know my file system, because I think someone could do something with that. I'm not sure, but I'm just being extra careful. So which one did we? Oh, sodas, right? Main dev, assets, AI. That's where I saved it. Okay. All right, and there we go. And now I'm going to work on it in Photoshop. Thanks for listening. And here we have the Mountain Dew can design. I, again, wanted to keep it very sugary, sweet feeling, sort of like cotton candy. And I put bubbles in as the major background piece, or I just put bubbles in because Mountain Dew is a bubbly soda drink. So I thought it might be fun to have that in the background, especially with the text, "It'll tickle your innards," from the old school Mountain Dew logos and packaging, or cans and packaging. And Yahoo is also from the old cans and packaging. So I figured I'd put that in there as a throwback. Otherwise, as far as things I might do differently, if I could redo this, I probably would move the Yahoo to a different spot. It sort of feels out of place. Maybe I would put it smaller and like right above Mountain or below. I don't know. But if I had more time, who knows what I would have ended up with. This is Zach from the future. I forgot to record myself making the rest of the logo, but this is what it looks like in the end. Sorry about that. So here we have the Pepsi logo redesign. I decided I wanted to do a logo type for this one, and I wanted to copy the geometric feeling of the current Pepsi logo. Here, let me pull that up just so you can see what I'm talking about. If you can see the current logo down here, it's got circles. The E is a circle, center of the O is a circle, and it's got this sweeping S, which is just your basic S, which is very different than the old logo that was very sharp and all caps, much more aggressive. The new one, all lowercase, seems more chill, very simple, flat. It's kind of appealing. I like it. But I wanted to copy that sort of geometric shape, but also when it was all caps. So I decided to look for a sans serif font because it matched up with the current logo. And I found this amazing font, which here I'm gonna look up off screen here and I'll pull it up for you so you can see the wonderfulness. It's called P22 Underground. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Oh, gotta log in to Adobe. Okay, here we go. Let's pull this out for y'all. Okay, so this is P22 Underground, which I found and just fell in love with the S. So if I bring the S up, so that should be a good example. But I just love this uppercase S. It really gets my goat. What can I say? Just the smaller top, bigger bottom. It's just super sexy. At least that's what I think. So I felt like I had to have it in my logo. So I used all caps from P22 Underground, and then from there, to keep a geometric feeling from like the current logo, I pulled out my spiral tool. Let's see if I can show you this guy here, so that I could make a circle that spiraled out. So I guess a spiral, not a circle. My bad. But yeah, I used this, pulled it up. I brought it over. I think, yeah, it was like that. So I cut out some of it and made this line here curve into this underline, which you probably saw in the speed through of me making this logo. It's basically like I'm doing a speed run of designing a logo when you watch those videos, but I'm nowhere near as skilled as video game speedrunners. Those guys are insanely talented and very good at what they do. So shout out to my speedrunners out there. You guys are amazing. Anyway, let's get rid of that. That's basically what I did for this font. I also should mention, I also should say how I added this little offset shadow, which I think just makes it pop that much more. Originally, I had an outline around the S, the P, the E, and the P here, or well, around the whole thing. But I decided that without the outline, it looked more interesting. And then with the shadow here, it really makes it pop. And I guess it sort of looks retro because of that, but I don't care. I'm in a retro phase and need as much of it as I can get. So now let's move on to the design of the can packaging. here we have the final soda can design. Pepsi's wonderful cola that will pep you up. For this design, I decided to keep going with retro mid-century style and using some brush script here. These stars that are sort of all over 50s designs, and this semi offset turned shape, all with 50s design spirit. This coloring, as you saw in the speed through, went through several iterations before I settled on this hot pink here, the yellow in the background, this dark blue to make this text pop, and the white outlines of these shapes and these stars. Originally, these were the same color as the inside of this cola here, but it just wasn't popping enough. And this motto is not Pepsi's motto. I made it up because I felt like it would have been something people might have said in the 50s if this was a can in the 50s. I did use a little bit of inspiration from old Pepsi cans, which, as you can see here, used to have this red section that came up and with a white buffer line went around the circle at the bottom of Pepsi. So I emulated that here, except instead of a white line, it's a yellow little curvy line with an outline underneath it. Now, as far as things I might have done differently or would do differently if I did this again or had more time, I probably would have brought this star and circle in a bit more because it feels like kind of an outlier, and looked into doing something up here or maybe removing this pink bit altogether. Otherwise, maybe expanding this because compared to this Pepsi logo, it seems quite small. But as they say, hindsight is 20/20, and unless I want to redo this video, this is what you got. And I figured I would be honest with how I am learning, because when I finished this, I thought it looks great, I think it's good, but after a bit of time and space, I was able to come back to this and realize some of the things that needed to be changed because I am filming this after the fact. And with that, we've reached the end of the video, sadly. I wanted to give a big thank you to everyone who made it this far, and would love for you to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw. Otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and check out my website, and all the links are in my description. Thanks, guys.